Can you see me? All right, everybody.
Yep, I see it.
You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold on, it's the video that it's like it stopped.
All right. Here I go. You can hear me? I see you, Andre. All right. I'm just going to wait for a few people to come inside and, be a little patient while I stare at myself and look at my new look. Thanks to my personal cosmetologist, cover to cover, there is no other, cover evangelista, my brother. How you doing, Angel? What's going on? Just waiting for a few people to come in, then this way I could just start to express myself. And hope everybody's doing okay. It's a Saturday night. I remember back in the days when Saturday nights were a little bit different compared to now. And wow, they sure have changed. Saturday nights for me was right about now, I'd say it's like 9:15 was time for me to think about what I was wearing to the club for the night. And I also had to figure out what I was going to exactly do for the evening. Saturday nights, I had choices of so many clubs. They all were in Manhattan. I'm originally from Brooklyn. And, it's nothing wrong with being a Brooklynite. And we had places to go and hang out at in Brooklyn. But, Manhattan, the city lights, camera lights action. It was Times Square. Picture it. Not Sicily, but Times Square in the 70s. Oh, it was pretty active. I mean, Times Square has changed drastically. When I first started going out, I, just look forward to getting to the city. And if it was the spring or summer or even in winter, that city air, the lights, the people that were out on the streets. I remember the arcades on where the A train, station at 42nd Street. We'd get off, they'd have the arcades down there, and there'd be all these young kids. Don't know whether they was hustlers, homeless or whatever, but everybody was in the arcades. And then you had the different pool halls, and you had people just everywhere. Times Square was just full of people. And how you doing, Brandon? Hey, Katana, how you doing? Long time no see. Mr. Brandon Hart and my son David. How you doing, Jesse? All right. Going out on a Saturday night is what you did, in the 70s. And you went out Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Mondays usually was quiet. Tuesdays was the nickel bar. Wednesdays and Thursdays were better days, and Fridays was better days, and Saturdays was better days. And if you really, really were a party trooper, you went and left better days and went to the Paradise Garage. And trust me, there were many days on my job where I sat there drinking 3 cups of coffee trying to get it together. Because those were the days when car fare was 50 cents, 65 cents. And hold on. Got a call coming in. Yeah, what's happening? Hello? Would you please talk? I can hear you. What are you saying? You know something? I'm going to smack my son in his head. He going to call me and tell me he's watching my video and it's live, but I'm talking on the phone. I'm talking on the phone because he just called me. You know, there's some real strange people, including my kids. You know, they're just strange. So continue to watch me. How you doing, Stefan? You know, I can't see sometimes. So what's up, Anthony Henson? What's going on? Yeah, I figure I better put on my glasses. You like my transformation, everybody? What's up, Calvin? Hey, much love. How you doing? It's Saturday night. I was telling everybody that Saturday night used to be, you know, New York City, you know, 50-cent subway fare, 65 cents, 75 cents. You know, we would go and don't forget after the club was over and we had breakfast specials where we could get 2 eggs, toast, sausage, pancakes, coffee, all for under $1.85. You know, yeah, it was that cheap. And I remember going to the clubs in the 70s and you had, hey, Gerard and Jim, you had, the drinks were like $1.10 at better days for a rum and coke or a slow gin fizz. I think the most expensive drinks were like top shelf, of course. But you could get you a drink. And then the beauty of it was going to the club and you get 2 free drink tickets for $5 when you came in better days on Fridays and Saturdays. Then they moved it to $6. But I also remember getting into like different clubs like the Nickel Bar on Tuesday nights. You know, you got in for free. So I'm just giving some background that I was always out there, and I want to give a shout out to all the promoters that have made New York City special. Rest in peace. There's so many that have gone. Ed Smith, James Brown, JB, who also, you know, was an Omni. He was a bouncer at Better Days. He gave these extravagant barbecues that we used to love to go to. You had Patrick Mulligan. You have James Saunders. You have, there's so many different promoters, but shout out to all of them. I was blessed to work, and shout out to Charles Jackson. I was blessed to work with Charles Jackson and James Saunders and Mike Stone. Let's not ever forget Mike Stone. Those were the days when the parties were parties. And I remember in the 70s. How you doing, Susan? Yes, baby. I you know, remember the days of going to the parties and having all the, you know, like the thrills of it all. It was like the disco era, you know, and things were not that expensive. You know, when you could have $20, you was rich in the 70s because you could go leave a club, go to another club, and have some change left over. And that was a beautiful thing. I basically did not come on here to talk about the clubs, but I just wanted to say that this is what I would have been doing on a Saturday night 30 years ago. Yeah, that puts me in the 70s. 30 years ago. Now, during this crisis, it has changed everything. You know, everything has changed. People are changing. People are going through something. They're going through a lot. And what's going on is devastating. But I want to start off as I see people coming in. Hey, Willie. Hey, Danielle. And hey, Mookie. Tommy, Avant-Garde, how you doing, Chicago? How's Chi-Town doing? Hey, yeah, so those days of going out in the 70s and the cheap prices and just being able where your money meant something. $20 back then took you on the subway, got your breakfast special after you paid for the club, and your extra drinks that you didn't have to pay for. Because most of the clubs always gave you a bargain with 1 free drink or something. So those were the days. And now $20 is like, what are you doing with $20? Where are you going with $20? I mean, you know you ain't going to a grocery store with any $20. I'm not talking about the corner store, but you're not going to a supermarket with $20 because the security guard probably will tell you to get out. Because there's nothing you can buy nowadays for $20. It's crazy how prices have changed, times have changed, but that's the way of the world. So now I want to get into why I decided to do this video. Was not to talk about, well, to go live was not to talk about so much the good days, but then I enjoy talking about them because right now those are the memories that keep me going, especially during this crisis. Now, everybody who knows me, my friends, and family, knows that I lost my mom's this month, April 4th. Today is actually the third week she's been gone. And she lost her bout with the coronavirus. And so it definitely touches home because I'm a mama's boy. And I've been a mama's boy. And I'm proud to say that I'm a mama's boy. She's going to live in my heart forever. But even better than that, I get to see her every day. No, I'm not talking about I'm losing my mind. I'm talking about every time I look in the mirror, she's there. As I'm looking on this live, she's there. My face is her face. When I brush my teeth, when I wash my face, I see my mother. And I'm very proud of that, because that's a gift and a jewel she's given to me. Yes, I could talk about her she was 91 years old, but, for me to talk about her, there's not enough time on this live. I would be on here for the next month, okay? My mother loved me. She accepted me for who I am. She loved my friends, most of them. Mother always has an intuition. She could tell if somebody is good to be around you, or whether she knows that they'll help her child progress. And then, those ones that she doesn't feel are worth anything, so she really doesn't, she's not nice to them, That was my mother, okay? Everybody knows Dorothy. She was like the old commercial that came on back in the days for the brokerage firm that I actually worked for, which was E.F. Hutton. And the commercial said, when E.F. Hutton speaks, everybody listens. And in my household, when Dorothy spoke, everybody listened. How you doing, Erin? It's good to know that you're around. Yeah, so I lost my mom's. I miss her every day. I see her every day when I look in the mirror. And I realized that the difference is that me or my family wasn't able to have a funeral for her. We weren't able to see her in the hospital. But my mother had Alzheimer's. So they checked her that morning, April 4th. At 7:30, she was fine. And then at 9:30, she didn't have a pulse. So she slept quietly away, And now she's with Jehovah God, and she's with everybody, in the family that has passed on. I have to say that for me to have my mother for October, I'll be 62. For me to have her for these 62 years, that was a blessing. And, I've been blessed. My grandmother was 98. All of my uncles that passed away, one was 95, one was 92. I lost one of my aunts in 2018. She was 93, going on 94. And I have an aunt that's still here, two aunts, 93, and the other is 100. Okay? So, what can I say? I just have to be thankful to Jehovah God. Hey, James Saunders, how you doing, baby? That's James Saunders. That's the promoter I was speaking to about in regards to New York City, and he does the boat rides, and he does many things, and he's been with me in my life for a very, very long time. Well, first of all, I want to say that I didn't come on here to, grieve or anything, because I celebrate my mother's life, because now she's no longer having to deal with the craziness that's going on in this world, touching and this, that. And my mother was a very outgoing individual. And, you couldn't keep her quiet. I came on here to say thank you to people in my life, and to tell them that I love them. We go through life where things happen overnight, and I've been looking on Facebook, and I've been seeing Rest in Heaven rest in peace, sleep in paradise. And then I think about it like, wow, we're losing people left and right. Now it's over 50,000 plus people dead in the United States because of coronavirus. And here I am, someone who has lost the queen of my life, my mother, to the coronavirus. And, there's other people I know in my life that have the coronavirus presently. And the best thing that I can do for them is pray for them. And prayer is so important right now. You got people out there losing their minds, jumping off of rooftops, committing suicides. There's a whole bunch of people doing crimes. People are just losing it. You got people coming to your door trying to sell you a mask, and when you put the mask on, it has chemicals that knock you out, then they rob you. There's just so much going on, but I don't want to be political. I just want to say thank you, and I want to start by saying thank you to my very, very, very best friends. And they are both of my sisters, my baby sister, my big sister, who have always been my second and third mother. And they remain so. And they're so in my life that I'm the baby. Okay? My brother, who was my father. So my sisters were my mother, and my brother was my father. And I'm just very grateful and praising Jehovah that I have the family that loves me. And then I have my family friends. Sometimes you don't have to be related by blood. You can have some really good friends. And one thing I pride myself on, all of my mentors, my mother and all of them made it to their 90s. Nobody's walking with a cane or a walker. My mother never did. Very strong women, but they ate better food, and hey Tasha, hey Ray, Machiavelli, they ate better food. There was a different time and the air was cleaner, and each generation behind them became weaker. Like my grandmother was still reading the TV Guide magazine, which if anybody in this era doesn't know, the print was so small. But my grandmother had her glasses on and she put her magnifying glass and she was able to read. She could hear everything you said. My mother could hear when you sucked your teeth 2 rooms away. Okay? And back then, they were allowed to discipline their kids. So when she came out that room and thought, don't even let her think that you rolled your eyes or you said something, because you were disciplined and you got your behind torn up. And it's unfortunate that now people can't even discipline their kids without having legal action, and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just living on the edge, and during this crisis, we all need each other. We need each other. And, the best advice is to stay at home and social distancing. You see what the COVID virus did to me? It made me, for the first time ever, grow some hair on my face, and I'm okay with it, I just appreciate being alive. And I want to say, again, my sisters and my brother, my very, very, very best friends. I want to say to my 6 long time, can't be 6, 7, 8, 9, long time friends. We're talking over 40 years and better. When you have friends for 40 years and better, it means something. Just like my mom's. Hey, Eric, how you doing, Eric Mack? I want to say thank you to Joseph Rivera Smith. I'm going to say thank you to, these are my closest friends. Joseph Smith, Wolfgang Bush, Michael Wooten, Brian Branch, Michael Haynes, my god sister Deborah, my god sister Suzette, my god brother Billy, Lena and Leslie Calhoun. And I want to say special to Leslie, Whenever you saw Leslie when we was growing up, you saw me. If you saw Leslie, you saw Kevin. If you saw Kevin, you saw Leslie. I love you, Leslie. And I love you, Lena. And I love you, Deborah. And I just spoke with my god sister today. And my god brother, Naaman. And I want to say also Derek Risbrook. These are my best friends. And I want you guys to know that I love you. You know, you never let me down. Brian, Branch, Michael, Wolfgang, you're always there. You're always there. And I never have to second guess. And let me tell you, that's very rare in this world. Sometimes we meet people and it's like you got to look over your shoulders because you don't know whether or not you can trust them. For whatever reason, you know. People just bear watching. But, you know, I've always had a gift to know. I always tell my friends, hey, Patrick, hey, Terrence. I always tell my friends, I could tell when I meet somebody after the first 2 sentences whether I'm going to like them or whether they're going to be a part of my life. I've always had that gift. And I've been, you know, years with people where I never thought that for 1 minute that I would be betrayed by them. But then again, I'm not putting myself in the place of Jesus Christ because he was betrayed. And he was betrayed and he was loved by many. And he did miracles and he did things and he healed people. But he was betrayed. And so I have to liken his lesson of what happened to him. Like, who am I? So I forgive those who've betrayed me, but I don't have to deal with them. Because you know something? They don't have my best interest. And I don't have to question that because when you have friends like the ones I mentioned, Michael Haynes, my best friend Joseph, Michael Haynes, Brian, Michael, Wolfgang, Naaman, Deborah, Lena, Leslie. When you have people in your life that embrace you and hug you, and even those that you have had fights with here or there, and I'm going to give a good example. They probably going to say, what? James Saunders. Me and James Saunders, we work very well together. We have some disagreements here and there. And, you know, I let him have it, and he turned around and let me have it right back. But I love him because he's always looked out for me. And I'm saying thank you to all you guys. Michael Haynes, I love you. And as I said, Mommy had her 70th birthday party thanks to Michael Haynes. The lobsters, you know, the crabs, the Chivas Regal, the Johnny Walker Red, all of that. And I want to thank everybody that has mentioned something on my post, giving condolences. Hey, Danny, how you doing? Hey, Sharice. For everybody that came on my post and said something uplifting and encouraging on my mother's memorial. But since we couldn't have funerals, you know, my mother and I both had already planned, you know, for this type of thing, you know, where we both went to the same funeral parlor, gave our insurances, picked out our caskets. It sounds morbid, but listen. She went from point A right into her plot, which we paid for our plots in the 80s when it was affordable. And she's in the ground next to my grandmother and my uncles. And I'll be there one day, hopefully no time soon. I just want to say that, again, I'm so grateful for the people that I've had in my life because of longevity, like my god sisters, Deborah and Suzette, and my god brother Naaman and Maurice, and my godmother. I've had these people in my life over 50 years. And I've had Joseph Rivera over 50 years. Friends. And Michael Bryan over 40 years. And I don't forget none of the Omni members. I love you all you guys. But I'm talking about people, and I want to thank you guys for always checking on me and making sure I'm okay. I really appreciate that. And I want to shout out to my girls, Adrian and Linda Knight and Adrian Tracy Breland. Tracy, you have been... How you doing, David Webb? How you doing, John Roach? Tracy, you have been there for my family, and I appreciate that. And I know you've been trying to call me I'm going to get back to you. And I have to say the same thing about my girlfriend, LaRose, Grandma Omni. LaRose, I love you, and I will, as soon as I can get past the things that I have to do, I will spend some quality time with you. And Linda Knight, I want to say thank you for that beautiful poem that you wrote for my moms. And I thank you for being there, being my strength. And I tell you to hold on. And I'm going to give you a message, Linda, right through here. We had a member in the house who's no longer here named Fila Omni. And every time he used to get on my nerves, he would come up to me if I had a problem or what and say, pull yourself together. Pull yourself together. So that's what I'm telling you, Linda. When you feel bad and things is going like a bit too much, pull yourself together. And then Aunt Nellie would say, after you done told her all your woes and problems, she'll look at you and go, get over it. And you look at her like, I thought you was going to hug me while I'm crying. And she said, get over it. How you doing, Leah? I got to put my glasses on at times because I can't see. How you doing, Tanae Long and Elliot Green? I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I want to say, give a shout out to everybody that's been a part of my life and everybody that has been uplifted. I want you guys to know that I love you. I don't want you to have to wait until something happens to me and have to guess, did Kevin Omni ever tell me that he loved me? You know, I tell you guys and all my friends, I tell you constantly that I love you. Because I don't ever want you to have to worry about scratching your head and trying to figure out, did I say it? I love my god sisters, my god brothers. I love my sisters, my brother. I love all of my very, very, very best friends and best family friends. I love you all. I love all my Omni members, Kafele and Muhammad. I want to say I love you. You've been with me for years too, forever and ever. I want to say to Tanya, Omni, Wooten, I love you so much. And thank you for being who you are and being a part of my life. And my mother really loved you guys. You know, she was always particular, but she loved you. And that means something because all these years later, you guys are still here in my life. And I'm just like, some people don't have friends for 10 minutes. And I got friends for over 50 years and over 40 years. And still in my life. You know, like my best friend Joseph. He down there in Alabama. If you're listening, Joseph, I love you. First time I went to my first club was with Joseph. We snuck out. We got in trouble. You know, we did all of those things. You know, I was one of those people that just ventured out. I was working, and I was working at a young age. You know, I worked in Wall Street for 20 years. And even as a teenager, going through my first 2 years of college, I was working. Went to school at night, worked in the day. And I just always had an independence. And the independence that I have, I always tried to share, like with my Omni family. You know, all the love and all the nurturing that I received from my parents and family, I gave to others willingly. And I had a good spiritual upbringing. You know, I was a part of the church, stayed in the church. When I went to visit Aunt Mary Hazel, I was a Jehovah's Witness with her, you know, because I went to the Kingdom Hall. So I got kind of different ideas and education on different things. I learned a lot for being a part of the community, the political side of it, the nightlife clubs, and the ballroom. And as a pioneer of the ballroom, I just want to reach out and tell you guys that, oh, by the way, let me just say this. There's an Omni online category. It's called Protective Gear, and it's for COVID-19. All you have to do is put a picture of yourself. Oh, Gerard Andre, I definitely have to say something to you. Gerard, when you left me that voice message, it really did something to me. It really touched me. I mean, the sincerity and knowing what type of person you are, I appreciate you. I said that when I sent you the text message back, but I want you to know Mr. Gerard Andre, that you touched me. And if Daryl C. Lee is out there listening, I want Daryl to know that he touched me. But again, as soon as we get some kind of normality back, we're going to have us a big soiree. A big soiree. I see you, Tanya. Now you come on. I just gave you your props, talking about how much you've been there for me and my mother and how much I love you. So, shout out to you, Tanya. Hey, Tay Prince, how you doing? And Gerard, I'm not finished with you, but we'll talk on our, own terms. And I just want to say thank you, Leah, because you always send me smiles and always send me little happy things, and I appreciate that. And I love the way you change your eyes. You just really make me just amazed. You're just very creative. Getting back to this online COVID category, because the deadline is this Friday coming, April 30th. I believe it's Friday. So if you want to be a part of the category, you have to go to the event page. You can go to my page on Facebook, scroll down about 4 or 5, whatever, and it'll say the Omni Online Ball. You click on that, go to the event page, and then you click on post. And when you click on post, it'll come up, and on the right side, it'll say see other posts. You click on that, and that's where you can go and make a comment by putting your picture in there. It's $200. Whoever gets the most likes will get the $200. So we're having a virtual ball, and it's befitting because it gives people time to create a mask or what your protective gear would be or what it is. Put your picture on there and get you some coins. That's for everybody. Everybody can compete. I want to shout out to Brian in regards to that, and thank you, Brian, for the artwork that you did, as you always. That's my number one artist. I'm so amazed with Brian Branch because he's Brian Branch. And they asked me, they said, well, where's Brian? And why doesn't Brian call me? And I said, Brian's Brian, and I ain't lying. And then let's not forget my family in Chicago, Wardell. Mr. Wardell Ford, Avant-Garde. And everybody asks me about Wardell. I said, Wardell is Wardell, can't you tell? And then now I want to shout out and give some love to my sons, starting off with Kai. My most controversial son is Kai. And everybody always asking me, well, Kai's like this and Kai's like that. And I tell them, Kai's Kai, and that's why, And everybody knows in my family, from Cousin Annie, Janita, everybody, when we finish a sentence on the phone, we end it with saying, Pat's Pat, and that's that. Because you would ask Aunt Nellie, how you doing? She'd say, fine. How's so-and-so? Fine. How's Pat? Pat's Pat, and that's that. Because Pat didn't care what came out of her mouth. She was going to tell you how she feels. She took after my mother, so she should have been my mother's daughter, and my older sister should have been Aunt Nellie's daughter, because they're conservative. But Pat and my mother, they didn't hold their tongue for nobody. But y'all guys check out the online ball. And now back to my sons. Cage, Robert, Speechless, Peacock. Okay? I want to say thank you for your love. You always surprise me, and I find that very endearing, and you really represent your iconic title. And, a lot of people want to run around and call themselves whatever, but you got yours honestly, and I'm proud of you, and I love you. And your music and everything you're doing, I'm very, very happy. And then I have my other son, who's probably wondering if I'm going to forget him. Well, first of all, I have to think about who he is. No, I could never, ever have to think about him. That's my son, Andre, from Detroit. He's the father of the Omni chapter. He's making masks for this, situation. How you doing, David Cobra? How you doing, Andre Lewis? Hi, Miss Jaquetta. Jaquita, I don't know if I pronounced it right. But anyway, so Andre's making masks, and Andre's on the phone with me every day, all the time, and is always worried about me. And then he acts like he's my father. And he's very creative. You know, he does underwear, and we're going to get back on this underwear thing. Cage does underwear and music. Andre does masks, and, you know, there's a lot of other things. I'm sure that, you know, when he puts his mind to whatever it is he wants to do, he does it. And, you know, he reminds me of Derek Omni, Mr. Derek Risborough, because Derek will hook up something in a minute. And there goes to remind me of my daughter, Dana. My daughter. That's my daughter. I love my daughter, Tanya. I love my daughter, Dana. I love you guys. And you know what? If you can't take out time to tell somebody you love them, but Andre, Andre Lewis. Not Andre Ultra Omni Gates. Andre Lewis, please don't hit me. Please do not hit me, okay? Because, you know, Andre's my stepson, but he has a little tendency going on there. You know, he gets a little angry. He has some anger issues, but it's okay because I love him. And I don't want him to hit me. Please don't hit me. Now, as far as, you know, thank you, Andre Gates. I love you too, Andre Omni. I just want to say, like, if you don't take time out to tell people that you love them, then what happens when they're gone? It's too late. I tell people, give me my flowers while I can smell them. And my mother said the same thing. I got it from her. She said, do not be sending flowers to my funeral when you know they're going to put me in the ground anyway with grass and trees and flowers. So why are you wasting money on that? And I feel the same way. You know, I love you too unconditionally, Tanya. Thank you. You know, it takes crisis. Crisis like what's going on. Because you can tell who's there for you. And I'm not just talking about the fact that I lost my mom's. I'm talking about everybody that's suffering right now with the virus. I know a few. And I'm worried. And hey, Mookie Mook, I just want to say I know a few, and I'm praying for them. But I want you guys to know that you have to help people. If you see somebody slipping, pull them up. Help them up. We got to help each other and love everybody, because right now that's all we have. And in the communities of color, people of color, we have a serious problem going on. We're dropping like flies. And, you know, I saw a few of my friends, well, they were my friends on Instagram, but they never were my friends that I called on the phone or anything. And I feel the loss because some of them passed away because of this virus. And I'm like, wow. So, okay, I'm back. I was gone for a second. I take care of myself, you know, as much as I can. Eat good, eat right. But I tell you, if this thing don't hurry up and go, I'm going to have to turn sideways to get out the door. Because it's like I'm eating everything in the house, everything in the kitchen. I'm making lamb chops. I'm making this. I'm making that. You know, I'm doing what I'm doing. I just feel like if you get a chance, guys, you know, you could share my video, share my live or whatever. You know, that'd be nice. Again, I want to say thank you to Andre Lewis for always, you know, showing me that special, like, you make me feel good. And I want to say shout out to my godson Waverly in Virginia. And thank you for all the years of being in my life. And I want to say shout out, I don't know if he's looking. Oh, I see my other son, Mr. K. Emmanuel Battle, Prodigy, who is retired like I am. I love you, K. K. I love you, man. I just figured that I wouldn't give your first name away too quickly. But, yeah, thank you so much. And to Jerry in Florida, Jerry, I haven't forgotten you. I have not met anybody that is so sweet and so sincere like you. And I appreciate you being in my life. I appreciate you praying on the phone with me. I appreciate when we do prayer. I really do. And I love you too, man. I just love, and I want everybody to know I love them, because I don't know if tomorrow you're going to be here or I'm going to be here, or whether I'm going to be able to do another live or not. I also know that during crisis, you find out a lot of things about people. And I'm not going to get into it, but like, you know, the selfishness. And some people are just like, they'll tell you, oh, I'm going to pray for you. But why are you praying for somebody if you're not really sincere with them, or you've betrayed them? Why bother praying? I understand we have to forgive. And I do. I forgive, but I can't trust you if you hurt me. And it's not about anger. It's not about hate. It's about hurt, especially when you love someone and they turn around and they do things and they just, you know, what you saying, man? I had to put my glasses on. You didn't retire, you just pulled back? Hi, Christina. Crystal. I understand. Well, I pulled back, and I think at 62 years old, I really am okay with pulling back. But you know, every now and again, I watch the YouTubes and I watch the kids, and I really enjoy a lot of what the kids are doing in ballroom now. You know, I just, and to be honest with you, I've gotten partial to watching the events in Detroit, because for some reason I enjoy Detroit. I enjoy their events. They have so much fun. And shout out to Alexis Rodeo. Hopefully you're listening, and Sister Jasmine Foray in Chicago. As I go on, I'm just so grateful that you guys are in my life, and I just want you to know that, because right now we have a situation. Thank you. You know, man, you're going to get points for that, right? Now I'm going to have to make you a full dinner and all of that. You know, man says I look good for 62. How y'all feel? Y'all think I'm okay? I think I'm all right. I mean, I still got my hair. This is the lowest I've had my hair, and I don't know when. I think maybe 10 years. But, you know, I was doing this thing because I didn't feel like shaving. I didn't feel like doing any of that. I mean, with this virus going on, who the hell wants to be sitting in there plucking hairs and carrying on? So, you know what, this scruffy look, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I feel inside. And besides that, I'm not going to see nobody since I'm social distancing, except for my son Cover. He going to come over here regardless to check on me. And then my sister, you know, she'll stand at the door and pass me a bag with her mask on. She'll hurry up and leave. But she's always making sure, like, you know, like she go to the store, is there something you want? And I'm like, yeah, give me some oranges, bring me some ginger, bring me some garlic. You know, bring me these things that I need to keep my immune system going, which I'm hoping that everybody out there is really understanding that we need to be concerned about our immune system. I mean, they came up with, what is it? Rosemary oil and oregano oil and all of that. You put a little bit in a pot if you're congested, and put the towel over your head and, you know, breathe that in. Or you go into the bathroom and you turn your shower on and put plenty of steam in there and breathe that way. Those things are very helpful to keep your the congestion down, the mucus down. Ain't nothing wrong with boiling some ginger with a little slice of lemon. They say limes are stronger. I've learned that during this crisis. There's a lot of things we can do to help ourselves. And don't forget, even though you put ginger and, like, I've been cooking with a lot of ginger, a lot of curry, and a lot of turmeric. Especially anything red, like lamb or whatever. I use those because they have cancer they're antioxidants. They can fight cancer-causing substances or toxins, get rid of them. So I do a lot of ginger, a lot of curry, a lot of turmeric. I also do black seed oil, which is really good, and because it boosts your immune system. I drink a lot of blueberry and pomegranate juice. It's preferably to get it, you know, get the berries, get the whatever, and put it in your NutriBullet and do it, which I do that. And I love my seasoning sofrito because it's all healthy. It's like I have to it takes me 3 hours to make sofrito in my NutriBullet. I do everything from the cilantro to the culantro, the rosemary, celery, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers. I do 2 bags of already peeled garlic. I put green scallion onions in it. I put red onions in it. I put a little light seasonings from Saison in it. And I blend all that together. And then when I'm ready to put some in my beans, oh my God, it's the best. If I want to put some in my ground turkey and then stuff my turkey, I'm telling you, the flavor is just to die for. But it's not just the flavor. It's all the ingredients that everything in there helps you and helps build and boost your immune system and help you with your cellular structure, helping the cells out. So again, my video tonight, my being live, is basically just to tell everybody to take care of themselves and really, really, embrace each other. Because right now, I wish, and I bet you some of you too, the social distancing thing, we can't even hug each other at this moment. We can virtually hug, but this is some scary stuff. And we don't know when we're going to be able to go back out. We don't know what's going on. There's so much misinformation out there. I tell people, be careful if you have underlying health conditions with this 5G network. I Googled it. It said it did not have any kind of it had less radiation or something, and it wasn't going to hurt the body health-wise. But then I've seen stories where people have actually had Geiger counters and testing the radioactivity of the 5G towers, and the machine goes off. So I'm thinking that, okay, maybe a normal person may not be affected by the 5G network, but maybe someone who has diabetes or heart disease or HIV or AIDS or some kind of underlying condition, that radiation may be just too strong for them. And then you have the coronavirus. First they said 6 feet. Then there was one time they said 24 feet. It's like there's so many things that you don't know, like what to do. You got people over here, 1,000 people over here talking about do this, do that. You got this one say don't go here, don't sit there, wash this, don't wash that. You just don't know. I mean, I believe everybody, when Jehovah God is ready for you to come home, it's time to come home. And I'm not going to sit up here and be a Bible banger, but I'm going to tell you something. Be ready when he calls you. You know what I'm saying? And right now, this epidemic, pandemic, this thing right here. Now, mind you, I worked in the microbiology lab for a year, dealing with viruses, bacteria, and fungus. So a lot that I hear doesn't make sense to me. I passed the course in 2012, and I got a B+. Then I worked from 2013 to 2014 in the lab with the doctor who was my professor. And a lot of, there's a lot of ways we can protect ourselves, and then there's a lot of ways that we can't. We're not going to talk about, like I said, I'm trying to stay away from the politics. I'm just trying to get people to just think. You don't have to believe everything you hear, but just pay attention to everything. And don't be so nervous and worried. Give it to, as long as you're taking care of yourself and you're staying at home, give all your problems and worries to our Heavenly Father, Jehovah. Go through Jesus Christ. You will ask and you will receive. And, if you need, you feel that depression coming on or that despair, then reach out to someone and let them know. Don't call and say, oh, well, what's going on, what you doing. If you feel like crap, tell a person that you feel like crap. Because that person, how you doing then, Gerald? What's going on? I told you to give me a call. I don't have your number. Okay? What's up, Paul? Hey, Ricky Rock. I'm doing good without my glasses on because sometimes I can't see. But I just want everybody to know that, we all in this together. And I don't have all the answers. But as a person with a heart, a big heart, my son Cover told me, You touch everybody's life, Kevin. Everywhere you go, you touch their life. And I don't give energy into the pettiness of people as I've grown. Maybe it's because I'm in my 60s, but you got a lot of people out there that, don't you have something else to do? Can't you help somebody instead of being bored and causing drama? You know, all this pettiness, you know, people not being concerned. Yeah, Lynn Gerald, I miss you. Yeah. You know, the pettiness, like, all of that doesn't matter. I even want to give a shout out to someone I haven't spoken to in years, Kenny Davis out in Chicago. Shout out to Kenny. You know, no matter what, at this time, like I said, mothers are important. And my mother really liked Kenny, and Kenny's mother really liked me. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So hopefully somebody will tell them that I said, oh, and thank you for the condolences. Thank everybody that went on my page and went in my post and said something nice to me in regards to my mother's passing on April 4th. And, you know, a lot of people are checking on me, and I'm telling them I'm okay. I'm okay, Tracy Breland. You know, I'm okay. I love you so much, and there's so much, you know, that I have to say to you. I want to shout out to Shantae, Ebony, Grandma, Shantae, Larry. I just want to say thank you, Larry Prelo, for being in my life. You know, and I want to say thank you, Shantae. I know you worried about me. You've been calling me. I'm going to do better as far as calling back. I get overwhelmed. I can't even possibly talk to all the people that I would like to talk to because things are going on, and, you know, I'm concerned and worried too. I mean, I got my nephews. You know, my youngest nephew is graduating, and he can't even walk across the stage after 4 years of hard work to get his bachelor's degree. You know, but we going to make it all right. We're not going to sit there and play the violin. It's going to be okay. He going to be all right. We all going to be all right. But we all got to pray and be strong, and we got to look out for each other. We have to really look out for each other. All of that stuff that you felt before, oh, I don't like her shoes, I don't like his attitude, let that go. You know when somebody's right for you in your life. Hey, Kasim, how you doing? And I got to put my glasses on because I'm seeing blurs. Changa, how you doing, babe? Yeah, you know, I just want everybody to know that, you know, like after me losing my mom's, I mean, I lost my grandmother when I was 30, and she was 98, and I boo-hooed at the funeral, and my mother said, why are you crying? She was 98. I said, I want her to live to be 108. And then, like with my mom's being 91, it's like never enough time. It's never enough time. I'm glad that she's doesn't have to deal with this. I'm glad that my grandmother doesn't have to deal with this. But we do. And I have to be concerned about my friends out there. And, you know, I got to be concerned about my family. And I want to say again to my best friends, Wolfgang, I love you for always being there. Michael Haynes, Joseph Smith, Rivera, Brian Branch, and Michael Wooten. I hope you listening because you've been a big pillar of strength to me since all this has happened. And I haven't even gotten a chance to talk to my son Kai. But I'm going to get to that too. I'm just going through, like, just glad to get up, praise Jehovah, praise Jesus, and just know that you guys are all in my prayers. And I'm saying that this is a serious thing going on. The reality of us we're not going to have a summer, no amusement park, no beach. You know, it's like people are losing their minds. They're jumping off of roofs. They're shooting people. They let people out of jail. They kill somebody the next day. It's just too much going on. It's what's up, Oz? Hey, Miguel. You know, it's like, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, everybody says. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know what the next 3 seconds are going to bring. You can walk outside your door, trip, and fall and hit your head the wrong way, and you won't be here anymore. So you have to really be grateful because there's too much going on. It feels like biblical prophecy all over the place, you know? And yes, these are the signs. The signs have been going on for the last 100 years. No man knoweth the hour or the day, you know. But we can look and we could see with our eyes. And 50,000 people dying. One death is too many. But 50,000 plus? And every day that's all we see is more and more people leaving us. Reverend this so-and-so, pastor that passed away. The ones that was saying the coronavirus wasn't bad, you know, and all of this type of stuff. It's like, hey, Carlton, what's up? Sure could use your music. Yeah, you know, all of this, like, controversy. And, you know, we don't even want to talk about the administration. Please get out there and vote. I want all of us to do one thing, and we don't do anything else. Please, let's get our youth, our younger people, to get out there and vote. We got to get them to vote too, because we need all the votes. And everybody that don't like Biden because of Bernie Sanders, like Arnelli said, get over it. Get over it. Because if we have to have 4 more years of Trump, now I'm going to tell you what I'm afraid of. Everybody talking about they're afraid of the virus. I'm afraid that we might not even make it to November. They starting to talk about they don't want to save the post office because they don't want the mail-in ballots, okay? Post office been all of my life, all right? James Saunders, I know you can relate to that. And, you know, but now I'm saying that we don't know what this man is going to do. The psychiatric community has been saying that he has mental issues. They've been diagnosing him. Hundreds of psychiatrists, not one. And yet, the Republicans still allow him to do what he does. This man has got one finger he can put on a button. And the nuclear fallout from the radiation would be past devastating. You think 50,000 people is something? No, try the whole United States and wherever else we send a missile, when they send a missile or whatever. We don't need, how do you have somebody that has that much power and they're unstable? Do you understand? This world is really crazy. And even with the Republicans, whether it's about the almighty dollar, where are you going to spend it if the world is destroyed? If he blows a missile and blows us all up, what good is money? They're sitting up there giving money to big corporations and stuff. And, hey, how you doing, Kareem? Yeah, they giving money, you know, for big corporations and what have you. But yet, when it comes to the poor people, you want to throw them $1,200. And mind you, many of them are still waiting for the $1,200. And I say them because I didn't get no $1,200. So if you got some $1,200 out there and you care to donate, you know, I'd be grateful, you know. I just believe that we have to see with our eyes and our minds. When you look up with your eyes, all you see is skies. But if you look up with your mind, you'll see higher. Lenny Williams. So I just want you guys to know that, yeah, you're right, Carlton. He said corruption at its best. And yes, Terrence down in Florida, he says he is not right. We need to vote. My thing, to be honest with you, seriously, like I said, it's not so much that vote blue. We got to get all our young kids out there interested in voting. We got to get them to do something to help us. We can't do it alone. We got to do this together. People of color, I mean, listen, every time I see or hear about Kanye West, Kanye, whatever, he just, listen, hugging, and he the best president ever, and this man is telling people to drink bleach and all type of stuff. I don't even use bleach for my clothes, because they put holes in them. If they put holes in your clothes, what they going to do to your stomach and your throat? Caustic burns, that's what it's called. Remember, I did a year working in microbiology, and I took 3 years of forensic medicine, okay? And that doesn't make me a scholar, but it allows me to have common sense. There's just some things that don't make sense. And drinking bleach and injecting Lysol, I really don't think that that's helpful. I don't know. What you guys think? Right, David. David said the mark of the beast. That man is so incredible. But like I said, what scares me is the more unstable he becomes as it gets closer. He's getting more stressed out. And what's to say remember he sent those air flyer jets over there to Iraq, all right? And let's not talk about just recently, supposedly, he sent some planes somewhere, just recently. I forgot, I'm reading so much until I can't remember everything. But he's sending planes and trying to distract us, trying to cause a war, you know what I'm saying, with Saudi Arabia or whoever. And just to get us off of this virus thing, as if that's going to happen. A lot of us are still dealing with the fallout of our loved ones and people that we know that are really going through having this disease. But I want to also put out there for the people that have tested positive, remember, if you got the flu shot, see, there's so many things that people are just not saying. Like, if you got the flu shot, they're saying that you test positive for the COVID virus because of the flu shot. So if that's the case, all those people that got flu shots, when they went to take the COVID-19 test, they came positive. So don't walk around feeling like, oh my God, I'm dying. Because you know something? If you took the flu shot, you was going to test positive anyway. But why aren't they putting that out there more? And if, in fact, you test positive, don't mean that, you can't recover from it. Everybody's immune system is different. Hey, Prince, everybody's immune system is different. Everybody has different situations, underlying health conditions, or even if you don't have diabetes or heart disease or anything, kidney failure or whatever, you still have to take care of yourself the same way everybody else does. But at the same time, mentally, it's important that we don't fall apart. Because the minute we run around falling apart like the sky is falling and everybody's just going crazy and living la vida loca, and you got these protesters out there threatening our peace and our freedom, the white nationalists telling people, oh, for those of you who are sick, go make somebody Jewish or a person of color sick. That's sick. So we need to just stay at home. And then I also hear about the threats where, if he doesn't win, the president, that they're going to have riots all over the place. So we have to join together. We have to find some common ground. We have to be strong. And we have to not just sit idly by. Unfortunately, we can't go out there and protest right at this moment. But we need to be coming up with some ideas on how we can get our voices heard even louder. It's nothing wrong with the Million Man March. But like they were saying about a lot of things, you had the Million Man March, now people forgot about it. You had this one marching on Washington, then you forgot about it. There's got to be something that keeps these things of importance in our faces and in our lives. And when I see people for Bernie Sanders say, well, I'm not going to vote at all, that's the same thing that happened with Hillary. People didn't care for Hillary, and because she was the whatever, they decided not to vote. And remember, a no vote for Hillary was a vote for Trump. You didn't have to vote for him, but that gave him one more chance and another chance. And when that person didn't vote, another chance. And then don't forget, it's the same thing with Biden. If you are Bernie Sanders fan and you don't want to vote for Biden, please don't leave us stuck with the alternative. Get out there and vote blue no matter what. Just get off your behind and vote blue. And teach your young kids, 18, make sure they're registered. It's going to be a whole lot of nonsense going on. There's going to be a whole lot of voting booths broken down. There's going to be a whole big thing with this post office and the ballots, the mail-in ballots. You know something? Quite honestly, it would have to be a miracle for the Republicans and the president to even see the light of day after all of this. It's impossible. Unless they really regulate it so that we, democratic states, they're already saying that they don't want to give money to the blue states, so they want them to be bankrupt. When in fact, New York, California, Michigan, and Illinois are the main ones that put more taxpayer dollars into the government than all the other states, like Kentucky, the number one for Mitch McConnell. They're benefiting off of it. But they're a red state. But you don't want to help out the blue states and say they should go bankrupt. Okay, I said I wasn't going to get political, but how can you not when we're talking about what's going on in the world today? And again, Saturday nights, for me, used to be partying. And I'm talking about all the way from the first time I went to an event was in 1973. 1973. So believe me when I'm telling you, I partied, I hung out, I did my thing. And you know what? I was out, even though HIV, there were some cases that I met people who had it in 1982, it still didn't hit home until 1985. So from 1973 to 1985, I had 12 years of just being out there without that negativity. I don't know whether something is biochemical warfare. I believe it with this COVID-19 because they're talking about how they slice SARS and this, that, and the other to make a powerful strand. Whatever. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Latuan. Everything is like... Crystal said, damn, she was 2 years old in 1973. Yeah, I was at my first event. It was in Brooklyn, downtown. It was called the Newcomers Manor. It was on Fulton Street between, I believe, Adelphi and something else. I may even have that street, the side street, wrong. But yeah, it was an event, and it was the Jewel Box or Pearl Box, one of the two, reviews. And then, where they had entertainment. It was very cabaret style, vaudeville, bring your own brown bag, And, but it was a lot of fun. And when I finally made it to the city, to my first club there was like about 1974. Yeah, I made it to the city in 74. So, yeah, and I've been going on strong. You 48 years old now, and I bet you're still beautiful like I see in your pictures. So, Yeah, and I'm still hanging out, James Saunders, Calvin Smith, all of us older, mature guys are still holding it down. We didn't let it go. We still, we lost a lot of promoters, but right now we are still in effect. And shout out to Frankie Paradise. How could I not shout out to Frankie Paradise? Frankie Paradise is my twin. I love him. He loves me. And sometimes I want to say a little more, but I just want Frankie to smile and laugh, and I hope that's what he's doing. I hope he's listening. And just if he hears this video afterwards, Frankie, you've been a part of me. Oh, don't forget. Hold on, I almost went out there for a minute. Frankie, I still have the Kevin Omni Burris Funeral Fund. Anybody could go to my website, www.iconkevinomni.com. We still need donations. I don't want to get too far into it, but at a time like this, if people need help, I would like to be able to help them. Remember, the burial fund is in my name. If you want to donate $5, $10, you can call Wolfgang Bush or send him a message on Messenger. And send him the money and he'll put it in the fund. And, when people have come to me and asked for money, I tell Wolfgang, well, they need this, whatever. And the only way we're going to be able to continue to give is if you donate. But I already have my insurance policy, so I'm not concerned. My mom's had hers. We took care of business. You know, I've had events where I remember the 20th Omni anniversary where I told people, you know, tomorrow if something happened to you, you don't even know where you're going to go. And I've had many friends that that's happened to. And then we have to, at the last minute, do some kind of fundraiser or this, that, and the other. Now you can start a GoFundMe page, but the burial fund is there. You know, I don't handle any of the money. I send all the money to Wolfgang Bush. If anybody like to know, his number is 718-623-2926. That's 718-623-2926. And then don't forget, he's also the one who's sponsoring the Omni Online Ball. Go to the event page, click on post, look on the right side on the top, it says see other posts. Click on that and you can put your picture of your protective gear in there and try to get this $200. Most likes will win. It ends Friday. It's been going on for like 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, just, hey, what's up, D? I see Donald Thomas in the house. Yeah, I'm glad to see you doing okay down there in Atlanta, you know. I just want everybody to, like I said, just pay attention to those around you. Start taking care of everybody. Take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Pray. Don't forget to let Jehovah in your life through Jesus. And just remember that we are worth saving. So we need to save ourselves. We need to save our families. We need to save our friends. And don't forget to tell people you love them. Okay? I think that I've mentioned all and everyone that I needed to send love to. My son, David Albert. Atlanta, I love you and I thank you. Andre, I love you so much. And, you know, you've always done for me. And, you know, I appreciate it. I appreciate, you know what it's like to have friends that turn around and you always have, you always have their love and they're always there and they're just like giving. And shout out to my godson Waverly. I know I spoke earlier. Waverly, I'm definitely going to make you something to eat as soon as this is over with. And Pee-wee, Preston, Princess, always, you are so sweet and I love you. Cover to cover, tell Eric I said what's up. If he didn't catch my live, I'm giving him a shout out. Everybody that's ever been in my life and that's still in my life, thank you. I love you. And I'm not going to stay on any longer because I'm a little hungry. So it's time for me to go and, you know, find some love. Since I already ate my little barbecue I made for today, now I got to figure out what I'm going to eat. But until then, Kevin Omni loves you. The Pioneer has said to you to take care of each other, hug each other virtually, pull somebody up if they're slipping, and don't be petty. Don't be all about you. Come out, like, get rid of that selfishness. Just get rid of it. And, you know, and who did this and who did what. Because right now, none of that matters. It matters what we're doing right now. It matters who we see, who we help, as well as helping ourselves. So I love all you guys, and I just had to come on here and tell everyone that I love them. Peace.